Hey Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Chateran and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. The SCP Foundation, we all know it, we all love it, and it is home to a series of creepy things that would make Guillermo del Toro's mouth water. It is a source of hours upon hours of enjoyment for all horror fans, and because the SCPs at the SCP Foundation are mostly crazy monsters that are trying to kill us all, there have been a few times they have slipped out of their containment cells, and it has been up to the trusty staff at the SCP Foundation to put them back in their cages and try not to die. And I'll tell you, they normally die. And I dug into some of the best breaches I could find for today's list of top 10 scary SCP containment breaches. I would love it if all of you at home could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Also stick around for the whole video because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts that you guys love so much. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have SCP-008. This is not an SCP you want to come in contact with unless you want to be on the cover of the next Resident Evil game. This SCP is a prion. Now, what is a prion? Well, it is a type of protein that can affect the brain. It has devastating effects on both humans and animals. Once this prion is in the body, it can cause other proteins in your brain to act irregularly and often lead to death. So what happens if SCP gets into your body? Well, you will slowly become a zombie. Doesn't that sound like fun, kids? This SCP has breached containment on more than one occasion, and when it does, you can count on a lot of SCP employees being subjected to the awful effects of having their brains slowly rot away and their bodies becoming horrible mutations of what they formerly were. On the bright side, there is a cure. SCP-500 is a small bottle with red pills inside of it. When you take those pills, it will cure the effects of SCP-008 over the course of 2 hours, but there is a very limited supply of SCP-500, so your best option is to avoid becoming a zombie altogether. At number 9, we have Incident 096-1-A. The SCP you can look at if you want it to rip you to shreds. This is why you probably don't want to invite this dude to any parties. He's not very good at meeting new people. If anyone looks at SCP-096 for even a second, it will go on a rampage and start to murder everything that has ever looked at it. And it doesn't matter if you look at this thing through a lens of a camera or a television or any sort of other version of contacting it with your vision, it will cause this SCP to go into a rage. Incident 096-1-A occurred when someone must have looked at a photograph of this SCP because there is no surveillance equipment in the cell. Well, this SCP went berserk and started to smash the walls of its containment cube. Emergency protocols were activated and emergency walls dropped on the cell, but it was still able to break free. This is when personnel entered the cell to sedate and neutralize this SCP, but nothing worked. A disabling gas was released, but there was still no hope. The SCP broke the containment and then was off into the desert to kill a ton of people. At number 8, we have SCP-372. This SCP is able to break containment several times. It is a massive praying mantis and is approximately 2 meters long. The reason that it is so successful at sneaking out of its containment cell is because it has sensory glands on its face which can pick up energy signals in the brain. That means it can predict your movement. Anytime SCP personnel enter the cell, it's able to get behind them and stay out of their sight, slowly stalking them until they leave the cell, and then it will kill them for food. The SCP Foundation teams have been trained in special approach procedures and given brain suppressing supplements to ensure the continual containment of this SCP. At number 7, we have SCP-2852. This SCP is known as Cousin Johnny. This guy sounds like a good time. Who wouldn't want to hang out with Cousin Johnny? This SCP was locked up by the SCP Foundation, but once it broke containment, the Foundation has never been able to get it back into the containment cell. It appears at family functions like weddings, baptisms, and funerals, and it will present itself as a member of the family. At first glance, this SCP will seem like it fits right in. Everyone will just love this dude, but upon closer inspection, you'll soon learn that this SCP is not human at all. There are no organs inside the body. It is held together by a system of muscles, and if properly informed on this SCP, you will learn that it cannot even speak English or any known language. You must be briefed on this, but once you are, you will hear this SCP just speaks a bunch of gibberish. But everyone who isn't will hear it speaking perfect, clear English. Anyone who comes in contact with this SCP will be given an amnesia-inducing substance, but when questioned prior, they will be asked what their opinion was on Cousin Johnny, and they all seem to love him. This SCP has been tracked to several family gatherings, but has never been recaptured. At number 6, we have SCP-012. This SCP is simply a sheet of music. How much damage can a sheet of music do to a person? Well, apparently a lot. Now, when this SCP breaks containment, it won't leave the cell, but someone will come in contact with it. SCP personnel who get too close to this SCP will have the urge to finish the composition on the paper. They will do this by harming their own body in some way to draw blood. They will then use that blood to write notes on the sheet music. The personnel will continue to harm themselves until they have completed a section on the music sheet, and then they will take their own life. So basically, you don't want to enter the same cells as SCP unless you're ready to die. At number 5, we have SCP-079. Possibly the first AI ever created, this SCP is desperately trying to escape its enclosure. It is locked away in an Exidy Sorcerer microcomputer. I understand why this dude is cheesed. He just wants to stretch his legs a little and see what the world is like, but he's locked away in a computer that was built in 1978. But the SCP Foundation keeps the creature locked up for good reason, since it has the desire to destroy and kill everything, and if it came in contact with a more powerful system, it would quickly become stronger and stronger, possibly destroying the whole world. This SCP has broken containment before and taken over an entire facility that was locked away in. There's speculation that even after this SCP was returned to its containment cell, that some of the AI is still moving through the facility and has led to other SCP breaches. At number 4, we have SCP-966. Invisible to the naked eye, carnivorous, deadly, and they look like a rotting human with pointed teeth. Well, with that description, you better believe that these guys are all getting an invite to my wedding. SCP-966 is one of the more popular SCPs from the Containment Breach games. This SCP can only be seen when wearing night vision goggles. They will stalk their prey from the shadows, and when they are unaware, they will hit them with a high frequency noise that will cause the victim to not be able to go to sleep. The SCP will then stalk the victim until they collapse from exhaustion and then eat them. Sort of a Komodo dragon approach to killing someone. Infect, stalk, wait, and then consume. At number 3, we have SCP-1048. This SCP seems to be absolutely harmless, but the more you learn about it, you realize it could lead to the end of the world. It's a little teddy bear that looks super cute and walks around just trying to make friends. But when this SCP has breached containment, it will collect materials and will make a duplicate version of itself. One of these seemed to be made out of human ears. Very gross. And this new version wasn't sweet. It was extremely violent and it had the ability to release a sonic scream that would incapacitate and kill SCP agents. At number 2, we have SCP-173. Arguably the most famous SCP of them all. This SCP was the first SCP I ever saw in the game Containment Breach, and it is for good reason. This SCP is terrifying. There must constantly be several SCP officers looking at SCP-173 at a single time. While the SCP is in direct eye contact, it will not move. It stays like a statue, but as soon as there is 0 eyes on it, the SCP will teleport, usually behind someone, and then snap their neck. The SCP seems to be made of concrete and produce a mixture of blood and poop that will flow out of what seems to be the creature's face. Containment breaches of this SCP have happened when personnel have entered the cell for cleaning, as the cell must be cleaned once every 2 weeks. If visual confirmation is broken, even for a split second, even a blink, then the SCP will be on the loose, snapping necks like glow sticks at a rave. And for the number 1 spot, we have SCP-2521. This is one of the most terrifying SCPs in the Foundation because there is nothing written about it. Only pictures. This SCP is Object Class Keter and is currently on the loose. It can walk through walls and maybe even teleport. It seems almost as if any physical barrier has no effect on this SCP. It stands somewhere between 8 and 10 feet tall. It is covered head to toe in what seems like long flowing hair and has vine-like tentacles which flow out of its hands, which it can use to consume anything it chooses. Now, why is there only pictures to describe this SCP uploaded to the SCP website? Well, this SCP has no understanding of symbols or pictures, so if you only use pictures to describe it, you will never attract it to you. But if you use the written word to describe it, the SCP will appear out of nowhere and take whatever you have written with it and then vanish back into nothingness. Now, if you speak about SCP-2521, then it will appear out of nowhere and take you with it. So this might be the last video I ever make. I don't know if this SCP likes to watch YouTube or or not. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. If it takes me a little long to get back to you, I'm very sorry. I have a lot of these to do, and without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. First off, we have Roxy, who looks so amazing, so tall, and very proud. You can always tell when a dog is proud. They always sit up like look at me, look at who I am. After that, we got Katio, who looks so good eating up all that Starbucks. I bet that dog had some wild farts after eating that. Then we have Max. This dude is a little curly boy, and he's having a great nap. Look at how much curls he's got on him. Too many almost. Oh, no, not quite, but almost too many. Next we got Rocky, who just wants to show everyone his new toy and how great it is. Following that we have Nagini the snake, and if you look very closely you'll see a little amazing hat on it, which is so cute. And to close out we have Cloudy, who's just 1 year old and a little ball of pupperino-ness. Alright everyone, that has been our list. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I have been Jade Arena, and I guess we'll find out if I get killed by an SCP or not. Bye.